Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry, I look haggard, but I'm actually feeling pretty great right now. I just finished a 5-mile run around base. Yeah, so now I'm kind of walking back to my house because I'm not as committed to running all the way back home, but I mean it's not that far away. So I kind of figured, well, we could talk about running because the biggest issue that I see in Air Force basic training is trainees come to basic training not prepared for a run. Actually, further than that, they're not prepared for a run, they're not prepared to doing a pull or push up, and they're not prepared in doing sit-ups. So let's talk about the run, because the run is actually the hardest thing to improve while you're here in basic training. I mean, granted, you are running, you know, that you have times in PT where you are running, but it's not as, I personally think it's not as significant as doing push-ups and sit-ups, because you, throughout the day, you or your flight can get in trouble, or your dorm can get in trouble, and your instructors will make you do push-ups, sit-ups, stuff like that. But running, we can't make you go out on the track and run. So let's talk about some tips that could help you guys improve your run or even get used to running in general. So number one, typically what I like to do when I am running is I like to run on the grass or on dirt or whatever, because it gives you more give, it's more bouncier, the surface, and it's easier on your feet, especially if you don't know how to properly run or you're running proper running posture. Now, next to that, if there's absolutely no dirt or grass because you have an urban lifestyle, then I would say the next one is asphalt, right there. Asphalt is actually pretty good, because if you think about it, it's just really tar and a bunch of rocks. So there's a little bit more give to that. After that, you have concrete. Concrete's basically everywhere. It is what it is. You can run on that. And the very, very last thing that I would say to run, if you have nothing else, is cobblestone or brick, because cobblestone brick is very, very rigid. There's no give or anything like that. So definitely avoid cobblestone or brick. Also with cobblestone, it's uneven, so you could possibly hurt yourself, cause an injury or some sort. So I'd say try to find something that is even or moderately even. Better yet, if you live near a track, high school that has AstroTurf, that is even better too, because that's obviously made for running and it will help. Now, why is it important for you to determine the type of running surface? Well, most trainees that I noticed is they don't know how to run, such as they don't know how to land. With landing, a lot of trainees land with their whole foot. And the reason why you don't want to do that is because if you are stomping, like stomp the yard or something like that, you could actually cause musculoskeletal injuries. You can cause microfractures, which will build into full-blown fractures, and that ain't going to be good for you, especially if you are in training. That could mean that you might be on med hold, you might be behind, and then you also run the risk of not being ready for your final PT test. For the Air Force right now, it is in the 5th week of training. So you don't really have a lot of time if you hurt yourself and you're not really ready or not really conditioned for running. So instead of landing on your feet, like flat on your feet, what you should be doing is you should be landing, like kind of bouncing at the front end of your feet. So I typically say try to land on the balls of your feet, like you're kind of tiptoeing. Less emphasis on your heels, because if you really focus on landing on the front end of your feet, even the balls of your feet, that will actually help absorb the impact of your body hitting the ground, and it cushions all that stuff, so you have a lesser chance of creating microfractures. Now, I said lesser chance of creating microfractures. I'm not saying that it's going to completely prevent it. It's just going to decrease the chances compared to you whole-footed stomping the ground. Another thing that I kind of tell trainees is when you're running or when you're even doing physical exercise, you are increasing your heart rate. So increasing your heart rate, typically your body's thinking, oh, I'm in danger. I gotta do fight or flight mode. So that's the reason why a lot of people panic when they're running or whatever. They stress out, they start crying, whichever. In order for you to calm your body down, to calm your crazy mind, is to do your breathing. Yes, you do your meditation breathing, you do your box breathing, which is you inhale 3, exhale 3. Inhale 3, exhale 3. That will help you calm down your heart, because I typically like to think that your heart and your lungs work hand in hand together. If you can manage to decrease your heart rate or slow it down a little bit, then your lungs or your breathing will slow down, obviously, because you're doing the box breathing. Slow down your breathing, slow down your heart rate, and you'll be better. So once you start doing that, you can start relaxing. A lot of trainees, what they'll do is they will start hunching. And I don't blame you. A lot of trainees, what they'll do is when they're running, they're stressed out. So obviously their breathing will be irregular, like they'll be panic, like basically hyperventilating. And once you start doing that when you're uncomfortable, you start like breathing up your shoulders. After you control your breathing and your heart rate, then you can focus more on relaxing your shoulders. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms, because you're gonna be running anyway. So just relax, do your best to relax. I know it's easier said than done, but once you start controlling your breathing, you control your heart rate, you can start kind of relaxing, like, okay, I'm gonna be running, this sucks, I'm gonna embrace this suck, whatever. Even with that, embracing the suck, it's hard because you're running and stuff. You can actually get to a point where you are completely dissociating. And that's kind of what I do when I personally run, is I dissociate. I used to be the type where I would listen to music just to kind of get my mind off of things. I might as well just run without anything, or I'll listen to podcasts. With that being said, it's probably better to do that now that I think of it, because every song has a different tempo. And what I noticed is that if I listen to like high beat tempos like techno and all that stuff, then I will run faster and then I will gas myself out. I want to keep a even pace, which my pace right now is a 10-minute mile. So I just want to keep it consistent. So recently what I've been doing is I've been listening to podcasts, because it's just people talking and I'm just getting my mind off of it. So I'm dissociating, I'm just listening conversations, whatever, and I'm just kind of focused on that. I'm not so much focusing on the aches and pains of my body or whatever. I'm also focusing on my breathing. So that whatever you can do to get your mind off of it, especially if you're consistently running over and over again. Now with basic training and getting used to running, I would say run, just run. Ideally, you would want to try to run 1.5 mile runs. As a recruit who is about to go to Lackland Air Force Basic Training, Lackland Air Force Base for basic training, I would say focus right now on your running. So in this video, we talked about what type of surface you should be running on. So I kind of threw it in there in the end. If you have a track that you can go run around, that's even better because it gives. If not, then you can run in the dirt or grass. If not that, then you can run on the asphalt, like roads. If no roads, then you can run on the cement. And very, very, very last on the surfaces that you should be running on is cobblestone or brick, just because there is no give. Then I also talked about how you should be focusing on your breathing, because usually with breathing, you start hyperventilating, your body's kind of kicking into high gear of like, oh crap, I'm in trouble. So focus on your breathing. Once you start getting your breathing in a rhythm, then you'll be able to bring down your heart rate, which will make it a lot easier. Now with getting running and landing on your feet, you shouldn't be landing whole on your feet. You should be trying to land softly on the front end of your feet. Like I said, usually I tell the trainees that you should be landing on the balls of your feet. But you know what, try to focus more on landing more with your heels up. Try to not run or land with your heels or with planting your heels on the floor. Last, we talked about dissociating. So kind of getting once you start bringing down your breathing, bring down your heart rate, getting your landing on your feet in a good way, then you can start thinking about other things. Dissociate, kind of look around, see like what nature has to offer, maybe even listen to a podcast so you're kind of thinking about anything else besides running, the act of running. That is all I have. Obviously there's a lot of tips and tricks, but these are some things that I actually tell trainees that I do train. So if you guys have any suggestions that help you run, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. All right, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.